up, honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, love, honey love? I see you. What you doing, Red Sonya? What's up, Sonya? Fat Mama Sonya. What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Mayday? Lord Mayday. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord Mayday? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say?
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week, another episode of Game Dog Talk. 78 Sports TV here. And I have in the building, of course, the legendary Mr. Schoolboy Richard Garcia. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, thanks. Hey, everybody.
Yes, indeed. You guys go ahead and please hit the like button, share the video, all that good stuff on all of your anywhere dog men can be found. Go ahead and share the video like y'all been doing every week. I've been very appreciative. You know, we get a lot of views on the playback from people watching it in different groups and stuff like that. So thank y'all for doing that. Continue to do so. So how's your day going, Mr. Garcia?
It's going good. I just got some writing done. You know, I'm writing my book. It's a long process, but it's going good. How about yours?
Pretty good. You know, just relaxing. Today watching some NBA, watching some NBA playoffs, sitting in this hotel. You know, Still got time for Game Dog Talk though. You know?
Always.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna. Ram should be here. Ram, you know how Ram doing? He out there getting it. He'll be in a second.
He busy.
Mm-hmm. Let me go scroll up and see what we got in the building thus far. Let's see what we got here. Jeff, the producer. Salute, man. How you doing? We got Dillian G in the building. What's up? Kyle the Face Stiller. Salute. My brother Main Event Mark up in here. What it do, man? Mr. J Dub 20 Texas up in the building. Miami Snoopy 305. Salute. Much love, Bert in the building. What's happening? Got Soul Power. What's happening? Corey Yellowman Jackson. Salute. We got Guillory Kennel. Salute. We got FTB Kennel. Salute. We got Drew the Dog Man in the building. Salute to you. AJ, what's happening with it, man? Let's see. Mr. Thomas Moreland, salute to you, sir. Got, Boss Dog Kennel, salute. Ty Green in here. All right. Kendrick Kennel, salute, Kendrick. Young World. Omega Brook. My brother, I am Ill Will in the building. Salute, family. Yes, indeed. All right. We got Dan G in the building. Jamie Abby Tony. D-Lo 87. Hardy Dogs, Pennsylvania in the building. Bolo K9. Dead Game Boxing. Salute. Bank State McKinnell's. What's happening with it, man? All right. I can't read everybody, but much love to everybody that's in the building, man. We got what's that? Hervin Anderson. Lovely La D. Salute, sister. How you doing? Yeah, I had to switch it up to Friday this week, sister. Yesterday I was ripping and running, you know. So I had to just switch it to Friday this week instead of skipping the week. Just move the day. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Oscar said, "What's the word on Buck? He's doing good. Buck is doing wonderful. Don't listen to none of the lies and stuff you're hearing out there either. That stuff's not true, man. People just talking, saying shit, goofy shit. It's not true. All right, so let's get down to it. I guess we can start off with this one. First question. Um, Somebody sent in through a Cash App the other day. Brother asked a question. He says, "Is it okay to have a cur as a family pet?" How do you feel about that, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, yeah, because uh, some people may not believe it or think so, but some hardcore dog man did not call their dogs in the way we normally do it. You know, they have a love for dogs. They would spay, neuter them, put them in good homes as long as the dogs were stable. And
Mhm.
that as a pet, it don't have nothing to do with the gameness. It don't have nothing to do with the the dog, for its original purpose. And
Right,
they make great pets. Some are smart, some of them, even if it was a cur, some are real protective of the home and the kids and the property and all that. Those two don't have nothing to do with each other, so they keep it for that reason too.
right,
A dog, you know, including pit bulls, they're good for burglary deterrence and just companions for children. Especially if it's a dog a kid raised. And a lot of parents, they ain't gonna get rid of him. He's and they keep him that way. And
right.
and yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm kind of hardcore that way. But I understand. I don't slight anybody for keeping curs. And that's okay. It doesn't bother me. It's not something I did, but a lot of people do. And like I said, some hardcore fast lane, if you want to call them dog men, they were that way. They just would not get rid of their dogs. That way they would not call them. They
Right.
either keep them or put them in somebody's hands. Sometimes family members, friends, or just people they knew wanted a nice dog.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think a cur. Yeah, I think that. I mean, if you're gonna, why should a game dog be discriminated against? I think people have curs as pets all day long. They got Rottweilers, they got Chihuahuas, they got fucking Dobermans and all that shit. All day long. So I mean, why not have a bulldog as a pet if it didn't turn out? Uh, you know, it's still gonna be better than that other shit to
Yeah,
me. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, and again, most dog guys I know, hardcore dog guys, they always have something else besides a pit bull too. You know,
Right.
little stinky cur dogs, mixed junk, whatever. Sometimes they have, old English bulldogs or Rottweilers or
Hmm.
Mals or just regular pets, and sometimes they have pit bulls that run with them all day long. That they won't even look at them. They don't do nothing with them. It's just a family dog, and all of them live together, nice and happy, and they get along.
Right. Right.
So
Absolutely.
you know,
So as far as the 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 culling process, I think many dogs. Well, at least I've heard stories. Many dogs that are now famous dogs. You know, people tried them early out. They didn't turn out, and people kept them around, and then they turned on later. You know.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
that's true too. Yeah, that's the reasons back in the day. Why we learned to wait till they're fully mature,
Hmm.
both physically and mentally. They can do some funky stuff when they're young. It's like a little kid. They ain't set in their head yet. How they really are, and
Right.
and they might have freaked out when they were little, and then they grow up and they mature, become an adult mentally, and then it's a totally different dog. You know,
Right.
and as far as the people spay and neuter 'em, that's just their responsibility. They're being responsible for not letting a cur get bred. You know, they 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 would do that so that somebody just ain't breeding them everything that walks.
Right.
And
Right.
others kept them, and cold dogs too. They kept them, they bred them. You know, but they didn't make a habit of it, because you got your cur dog in the house, pit bull. It's going to be there for 10, 15 years, so they're set. For that. They don't do it with every dog. although Leo Kennard did, you know, he was known, he didn't kill anything. And yeah, he did have up to 500 dogs sometimes, you know. Not all of them pit bulls, but a good 200 or 300 of them were, and he just wouldn't get rid of them. But some people are like that, you know. Like I said, it's everybody's prerogative, you know.
Right, right. Absolutely. Yep.
But yeah,
Let's see here. We got let's see. We got uh we can go to this one. I'm gonna skip the second one, wait for Ram if we can. Um what's the greatest misconception or some of the greatest misconceptions about dog men?
uh, you know, sometimes, you know, the a good misconception is well, let me hit the bad one first. You know, the bad one is that they're cruel and evil and you know, bloodthirsty and stuff like that. You know, the public, the media, a lot of their perception of people is you know, we love seeing blood and we love this or that, and that's not true. There's very few people, you know, unless they got something wrong with their head, you know, that look at it as you know, seeing the damage, and that excites them. You know,
Right, right,
it's not that. It's you appreciate the dog itself. You appreciate the heart. You appreciate the style and the intelligence. You know, uh, how they move, how they work, how they do all kinds of stuff. You know,
right,
you don't look at what they're doing as, you know, you want them just kill them and you know, stuff like that. It's there's a lot more to it. You know, if
right,
any sport, you know, the main thing is winning, yeah, but you appreciate the athlete, you know, what it does, how it goes through what it does, you know, just like I say, the athleticism, you know, the art form, if you want to call it that, you know,
hmm,
and that's one of the things that you know that dog people in general, pit bull people in general, have been misconstrued about, you know, that we're just a bunch of, you know, low life, evil, you know,
right,
animalistic, you know, type of people, and that's not it, you know. Not it, and you know, it's reflected in the fact that most dog guys, you know, if you're losing, you're going to pick your dog up, you know.
hmm,
You care about them, you know, you're going to do everything you can to save them, and you're going to take as good care of them as you can prior to an event, and especially afterwards, you know, because you know the idea is to make more of them. And if you have a good game dog, win or lose, you want to make more of them, and you want to use that individual to do it. You know,
right.
that's the main thing I would see is people outside of the breed don't understand our way of thinking. You know, that we're not a bunch of, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, 120%. You know, I think one, yeah, that's one of the misconceptions is that dog men don't love their dogs. You know,
Yeah,
if you're a game dog owner, you don't love the dog. It's just a disposable dog. You just go through dog after dog, and you know, and
yeah,
you know, you don't have any feelings for the dog. You don't take care of it. You know, it's just a misconception where um, people think that you know, dog men are animals and savages and shit like
yeah.
that.
There you go. Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So
And you know, going back to what we said in an earlier video, there's a lot of people that their dogs quit. They don't get rid of them. They take
mhm,
them out, start working on them, clean them up. They're going to take them home, whether they breed them or keep them as a pet, or just they're not the type to call dogs. I mean, there's tons of them. They just, you know, they work on them afterwards. Their dog ain't going nowhere. He's staying with them. You know,
right,
so
right,
that just, you know, we really do love dogs. The reason you get into it is for the aspect of what the dog represents, but most people are dog lovers, and there are
hmm,
one or two or whatever, a handful that don't care. You know, they see them as something on a conveyor belt. You know, well, we got another one. That's okay. We got it there. I can name maybe, you know, or I've known maybe two or three people that were like that out of the hundreds and hundreds that I've known, and thousands of dogs that I seen go and all that, most people ain't that way. We really do love the breed and we love the dogs, but they're dog lovers in general, you know.
Right.
They just like canines.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Because I've met a few people who are pieces of shit in the
Right.
dogs. A few, but
Yeah.
I would say 95% of the people I've met in these dogs love the dogs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
They love the
Which is
dog.
yeah, which is a higher percentage of people involved with other types of animals,
Right. Right.
and whatever type, even in the industry, the beef industry or poultry or whatever,
Exactly.
they call like crazy, and they don't have the same attachment to their animals that we do, but that's their business, they're looking to make money and they have to do it as responsibly and as economically as they can. For
Okay.
ours,
Okay.
the point ain't economics, it's never about the money. It shouldn't be, and it's not geared that way, you know.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I think that that's why it's important for the breed to be shown in a positive light and to show people going to dog shows and things of that nature and uh, making sure they're showing their dogs clean, healthy light and stuff like that. Because um, the people are masquerading as animal lovers and shit like that. But a lot of these people are pit bull haters,
Right.
and they think the breed should be banned, but they're pretending like they care about these dogs. Oh, we gotta save the pit bulls from these monsters. These dogs are good, but really they want to take the dogs and euthanize them. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's what
Hmm.
they really want to do. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's true, and that's
yeah,
across the board.
hmm
That is, we've held shows and SPCA comes up or somebody, uh, that's not really involved with the show shows up and they're just walking around. They're looking, see if they see something funky or you know something that they don't like. They're looking for something to get you on. You know, so yeah, you're right. It's important to show like that. I know one guy that when his dogs quit, he has a buddy that hunts hogs, and he just gives them to him, and he
right,
uses them for that, you
right,
know, and but and historically the dog's been used for all kinds of stuff, hunting and herding cattle, and uh, uh, involved in sports. It's not just like the pit bull sports. There's all around sports like the French lure
right,
and field trials and stuff, which are for hound dogs, but sometimes the pit bulls involved in them, or they have a sport. It's almost like ratting, where they got to go and
right,
find rats in a barn and all. I forgot what
right.
it's called, but yeah, there's all kinds of uses that the pit bull has been used for, which is unusual with other breeds because they're usually used for one thing, you know, and a pit bull you can use them for a lot of different things, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
putting it in and the SPCA and PETA and all them, they're hypocrites because no matter what they say, they still kill dogs and any kind of animal, just about, whatever they get their hands on. They don't keep them and rehome them. You know,
Right.
the kennels that do that are very few and far between. There are some that don't. They don't kill anything, and it's
Yeah.
costly, and they keep them until they can, you know, uh, put them in a home that wants them. But
Right.
but you know, those big national organizations, they don't do that. Their intent is to kill everything.
hmm
You know.
Right. Right. That's the hilarious part is that
Yeah.
they'll take a dog from somebody under the suspicion that this person's hurting animals, and then they'll get the dog and kill it.
Yeah.
The stupidest shit I
Crazy.
ever
Yeah.
seen in my life.
Yeah. That's the hypocritical part.
Hmm
That and like we mentioned before, one of them he was an SPCA officer, and PETA took the dog, said they were going to rehome the dog. They killed it that day or the next day. It made a big stink because now you have two uh, businesses that are about the same thing, and you got one lying to the other. And you know, they've been found dumping dogs in big garbage cans and all kinds of shit. You know, just
Right, right.
it's terrible because there's people giving money for them to save animals, and they're taking that money and using it however they use it and killing them. You know.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Got a question here. Salute to Bulldog Kid in the super chat. How you doing, family? He says, schoolboy, what's your best advice for young dog men getting started? And what's the biggest mistake young dog men make?
Well, when you're getting started, you know, it's important. You know, the way I went about it is once I heard about the breed and wanted to be involved with it, you know, is I learned as much as I could about it before I ever got one dog. You know, all the history, all the pedigrees, breeders, bloodlines. You know, got as many magazines, the Richard Stratton books, all the old Armitage books. You know,
Right.
and learn as much as you can about the breed. You know, before you even get one, and then at the same time, you know, when you're preparing to get one, you know, you want, you know, you're trying to look for, after getting all that information, you try and look for something from those bloodlines or that breeder that you're interested in, and then have your setup done first. You know, back then it was a chain setups and whatever, but whether it's kennels or you're going to keep them inside the house or, you know, whatever your setup is, have it already ready before you get a dog.
Right.
You know, and you know, you have to make contact with people, acquaintances, friendships if you can. It takes time. You know, once I first heard about the breed, it wasn't, you know, it was a year later before I ever got one. You know, and that's just the way I am with everything, whether it's boxing or history or handguns and rifles. You know, you
Right.
learn about them, you learn the mechanisms of how they work. You know, as far as guns go, all the safety rules. You know, you want preventative maintenance for your dogs. Make sure they're not going to get loose or get hung over a fence or have their you know, bowls and their, you know, as much you know, a first aid kit if you need one. You know, worming, all that stuff. Have it ready and do a lot of research. You know, and you got to listen to all these people telling you different things, and then you got to weed through it and see which ones make sense because you really don't know. So you got to use common sense and go with your gut when it comes to all this information you're gathering and all these people you're talking to, you know.
Right.
And that's pretty much my advice. You know, what was the other part? And the biggest mistake is, well, you know, I don't know the biggest one, but some of the mistakes people make is they tolerate man biters, or if you have family members or children, you know, you chastise the family members and children for the misbehavior of the dog. You shouldn't tolerate any bad behavior from any dog, not just a pit bull, but anything. You know, you can't put that dog above your kids, you know, because kids are gonna make mistakes with them. You know, they're gonna pull their ears and their tail and poke them and kick them and knock them down and bite them and do all kinds, especially if they're smaller children. You know, the dog should tolerate all of that. And as far as that goes, I don't care what anybody says, man. You know, if the dog can't take it, get rid of the dog. Don't reprimand your kid. You should teach your kid how to behave around dogs and how to treat a pit bull and all that. But don't chastise them. I've seen dogs react negatively because the person disciplined the kid in front of the dog. Now the dog's disciplining the kid too in the same
Right.
way.
Right. It's like a pack. Like a pack.
Like a pet. Exactly. They see you do it, whether you yelling at your kid or make them time out, whatever it is. The dog's going to react negatively to the kid himself. You
Right.
know, so you never want to do that, man. You know, like I said, you don't let your kid abuse the dog, but they're going to do stuff that you know, it's just, that's what kids do, you know. And you can teach the kid, hey, don't do this and don't do that and all that, but if a dog react negatively towards my kid for any reason, the dog's going to get it. You know, kid ain't going to get it. I
Right,
get
right.
another dog, I ain't gonna get another kid. You know, you don't want an accident happening.
Absolutely.
It'll stick with you the rest of your life, man. And I've seen that
Absolutely.
happen too. You know, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good important point you brought up about that discipline and stuff. Like, yeah, dogs are naturally pack animals. That's their instinct. You know what I mean? Even though they're game dogs, they still have that instinct. So, and they're gonna try to find their place in the pack. So, if they see
Yeah,
you disciplining a child, they're gonna assume that that child on the lower pecking order of the pack, and they
exactly.
and they're gonna think that they can discipline, and then that's when you get all hell break loose. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Accidents will happen, and they have happened, and they're preventable. So the dog is the lowest on the totem pole,
Right,
and then from there, it's up to you where you put your kids, your wife, your family, and all that. You know, that's all personal. But
right.
the dog itself is way at the bottom.
Hmm.
Last, I always tell people, dogs down here, kids way up here.
Right, absolutely. Trey Brown in the super chat, salute family. He says, "How influential was Bill Stewart's magazine? Do
Man,
you
that was a
remember?"
good that was a good mag. I wrote for some. Bill was good people, man. We even went
Yeah,
on a hog hunt one time in California. He come out here and we had a good time. It as far as his own information, his own experience, he had a lot of it, and he was
right.
real approachable, easy to talk to. Anybody just about wanted to write something for his mag, they could do it. He didn't have the numbers like some of the other magazines did, but it still ran for several years, you know, and there's a lot of good info in there, you know.
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Salute to Mr. Gumbo in the super chat. Appreciate you, man. He says, salute 78. My brother in the panel in the chat. 78, how good is the Razor's Edge bloodline? Just got a new dog. Okay. Congratulations on your new dog, man. The Razor's Edge line is like American Bully line, though. It's not a game line, game bred line, but be happy with your dog, man. You know what I mean? Get you a good family pet, and go out there and maybe go to some shows or something like that, and show it off and stuff like that. It's some good dogs out here. I hear they got some good dogs, man.
Yeah. I tell people if you like the dog, that's all that matters.
Right.
You know, the issue I have sometimes is the purity, the breed, and all that. But that's a separate issue. But if you like it, that's all that matters. It's a dog. Treat it like that. That uh those aren't purebred pit bulls. You know, but I know people that have them that are happy with them. They do as much as they can with them. Some of them are not the big fat, they can't breed bullies.
Yes.
They're athletic. They're
Hmm.
well built. Like that, and they have their purpose too. So if you like them, good luck to you. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's a guy down the street from me who got a female. Actually, I saw her walking. She has a female bully, um, and it's a fucking beautiful dog, man. It's not the short, squatty, wide
Yeah,
dog. It's like one of those XLs, I guess, but it looked like a game dog on steroids. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's
yeah,
huge. Yeah, it's huge. You got the ears cropped, nice jaw, and facial structure. It really
yeah.
looked like a nice. You know what it looks like? It looked like a well built am staff. You
Right.
know, with very muscular am staff. The way it looks like. So
Yeah,
real nice, beautiful dog, clean coat, shiny.
yeah,
She be walking that dog. Real nice dog too.
yeah.
You know, yeah, it's
They
a
got
nice
some
dog.
leg under them.
Hmm.
They stand a little bit taller, and they got
Right.
good muscle tone and all that. Yeah, they're nice dogs. The according to the people that originated the breed, the bullies, and it was actually some I forgot their name. I have it on a video. A guy was talking about it, and he said that they wanted to create a breed of dog that looked tough but wasn't mean and wasn't
Right.
a fighter and all that stuff, and with good temperament and all that. I don't know since then, you know, uh, how they've developed along, but that was the original intent. you know.
Right, right. Okay. We have here, the brother came back, Mr. Gumbo, back in that super chat. Salute, man. The 70, I want a purebred pit bull. I'm getting rid of him. Say, what's a good game, bloodline? Oh, you gonna get rid of him? You just got it, man. Oh man, I was trying to be nice about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you know, as long as you like the dog. But I mean, you gotta get rid of your dog, man. But if you want,
Yeah.
if your intention was to get a pure American Pit Bull Terrier game dog, it's a lot. What? Let me know where you located, man, and what, like, you located on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, down south, or whatever. And but I would advise you though, like Schoolboy was just talking about earlier, to do your research on the breed, and you know, get you some books and stuff. Just take your time. Take your time. You know, go ahead and keep your dog you got. Take your time, and unless you can go get a refund real quick or something, you know. But like, you know, take your time, do some research on the different bloodlines, the history of the breed, and then make your decision. Say 6 months, a year from now. You know, it's no rush. You know what I'm saying? No rush. Oh, you in Louisiana? Oh shit, man, you're beautiful. You're sitting beautiful. You're surrounded by beautiful game dogs in Louisiana. You know what I mean? You're surrounded by some shit down there. So just take your time though. Know what you're getting into first, brother. That's what I would do. You know. But yeah, you got a lot of stuff. Good dogs in Louisiana, man. You know, you can find those out real quick. Just I would advise you to don't let nobody con you out your money real quick, man. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, somebody can just tell you anything. Oh yeah, this is a gator mouth dog and stupid shit like that. This is a silverback bloodline and shit. You know, just go ahead and do your research. Like Schoolboy was saying earlier, go ahead and grab you a few Richard Stratton books or something if you can find them on Amazon or something cheap, and then just do a little research, uh, and then from there, you know, look at what's some good bloodlines, and we can have a conversation and say like, I would say like 6 months, bro, at least, bro. You know, I wouldn't just tell you to just jump out there and get no dog if you don't know what you're looking for just yet, because you don't know if you're gonna be, you know what I mean? What would you say, Schoolboy?
Yeah, with the pit bull, you know, it's you got to learn the dog rather than expect the dog to behave like another breed would, or you expect a certain temperament or behavior, even athleticism. You know, they're different. It's like if you have horses, you know, and your kids like to ride around with horses, you don't get thoroughbreds. You know, they're too athletic, they're too high spirited, you know, they're too high strung. You know, you get some old plow horse, you get some old, you know, a Morgan or something like that. You know, you don't get cutting horses or barrel racers. Those are for professionals. And I'm not saying you got to be a professional to get a pit bull, but it's not a regular dog. It can do a lot of regular things, and they have the temperament to be good pets and all this other stuff. But there's also that high spirit in them, and that aggressiveness towards other animals, not just other dogs, but all kinds of animals, that you have to protect them and preventative maintenance them against. You know, in all my years, unless a dog was inside the house, they were never off lead, off the chain, off anything. I never let my dogs run loose. That was just me. And I'm not saying with some you can't, but the one time you have an accident, you'll understand that you shouldn't do that. You know,
Absolutely.
it's almost like, you know, you got one dog, and you're out there. You can't have a bunch of them together. You know, you got to keep them separated. You got to, you know, don't try and make them something that they're not, because a disaster could happen.
Right.
And that's what I mean about, you know, learning the dog. Let it be a dog. Some are good with other animals, no matter what, and they're raised with them. But that's up to the dog. It's not. There's not no training that can teach that. Not with a real pit bull. There's not where it doesn't matter if you've been involved with canines for years and years. The pit bull's different. If it's in them to be that way, that's great. If it's not, don't try and change them.
Right.
You know, it's an accident waiting to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see here. Um, let's go to this question. Why did Heinzel's Arizona Pete not have the breeding success of his brother Daibo? Okay, and that's a question asked to me actually yesterday in Facebook. People want to know that. And is there? It was a longer question, but I kind of cut it down to that. He said
Right,
he was kind of saying like if they're both coming from the same genetics, why don't they both produce the same way?
right. Well, the simple reason is because Dabo was out there and he was offered it public stud, and Pete wasn't. He might have been, but he was more kept in Arizona, and he wasn't bred that much. They only bred him because when they needed something off of him. He was a good producer.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked up and I can't remember all the dogs off of him. You know, I'm not saying he was as good as Daibo or worse than Daibo, but it's just he was more closed in, kept on the yard. You know, and honestly, talking to Heinzel, a lot of the dogs get these labels put on him like champion. He wasn't a champion, and that's taking nothing away from the dog. He was still a good dog, and he won off the chain stuff, and he beat a lot of good dogs, to prove his quality. But I don't think he was ever contracted matched, you know, at all. And I see that a lot. This is kind of off topic, but I see that a lot with a lot of the dogs from the past. I knew a lot of them or knew the history of them too. And all of a sudden they got champion and grand champion in front of their name. And, they might have been 1 or 2-time winners, but they weren't that. I don't know where these people come with this, somebody not doing their research. It's kind of like, Pincher, 24-time winner. He may have been a 20, won money 24 times, but it wasn't always against pit bulls. And they
Right,
weren't
right,
always all of them contracted matches, To
right,
put a dog through keep 24 times, that's unheard of, you know.
right. Yeah, that's
It
great.
doesn't, but it doesn't take away from the dog. And the point I'm trying to make is, if it's a good dog, it's a good dog. It don't matter. It don't need titles. It don't need accolades that it hasn't accomplished, And that's the way Pete was. They embellish a lot of the stuff about him, but he didn't need it. He was a good dog on his own. But back to the question, it's just because he was kept on the yard more. He wasn't put out there like Daibo was,
Right.
and as a measure, Heinzel bred to him too. A lot of the Arizona guys did too. They still
Right.
recognize him as a good dog and a good producer. It's just that he wasn't put out there like a lot of the other famous dogs are.
Right. Right. How you doing, Blitz?
What's the deal, boss man? How
Hey
you
Blitz,
doing?
what's up? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Good.
Good. It's good, man. Yeah. We over here just shooting the shit. Know how we do it, man. We got another question here. Well, yeah. Well, let's talk about the. Well, I'll come back to the Arizona Pete, man. Let's see. Mr. Gumbo back in that super chat. Salute, homie. He says, 78. I want one more. He said, I want one now, not 6 months. He said, I'm going to pick one out your yard. Well, man, if you want one now, he said, is that Christopher Jordan? Is that you, man? Did you change your name, Christopher Jordan? Let me know, because if that's you, then just hit me up on Instagram. We can shoot the shit, and I can tell you where to get some good dogs from, man. Your nice little starter kid or something.
You want one of your dogs?
No, he ain't getting one of them. Not happening. I gotta see what these dogs turn out to be first. And it's nothing worse than getting rid of the dogs that turn out to be good for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever done that, Mr. Garcia?
Well, yeah, but always with the intent. Hey, if it's a good one, it reflects on me.
Right.
My kind of mindset was, if I can make one good one, I can make more. It's all about knowing how to breed, and no insult to anybody, but most people don't know how to breed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it takes a long time to learn. But yeah, it made me feel good if somebody could take one of my dogs, whether from a pup or grown, and
Welcome
do
down,
something
Ram.
good with it.
What's
What's
happening?
Yes,
up?
Ram.
Welcome down, Ram. Big Crippin. What's happening?
Just coming from buying my crew some lunch or some dinner,
Okay.
whatever the fuck you want to call it. I be treating them, every payday, let one pick what we gonna eat.
Right.
What's happening?
Absolutely. Man,
How
we
you
just
doing, Ram?
I'm good. How you doing, Mr. Garcia? What
I'm
up,
doing good,
Blitz?
thank you.
Chilling, chilling. Hey, yo, did you ever come down this way? I was trying to hit you up.
Oh no, I'm gonna hit you when I make it down there.
Okay.
Just had a couple little shit I gotta take care of out here before I pull out.
All right.
yes indeed, yes indeed. Let me know when you pull up out there, Ram probably connection probably going back to the outside. Let me know when you pull up on Blitz, man, what month you going? I might wanna take a little ride.
Oh yeah,
No?
definitely. You out this area too?
Huh?
You out this way too?
No, but I'll be traveling, man. I'll be hitting the road, man.
Oh hell yeah, this is definitely on me.
Yeah, I'll be traveling and stuff, man. Let me see here. Let's see. Let me get rid of the other Ram that's up in here. Let me see here. Trying to remove the other one. Here you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
my bad. I got a call right quick. That's my fault.
All good, bro. Ram,
Yeah.
let me ask you one of the questions we had earlier here, which was uh about the Arizona Pete dog. Why didn't Arizona Pete? This is the question. Why didn't Arizona Pete produce the way Diabo produced if they have the same genetics?
Well, Arizona Pete wasn't bred too much off the yard, Howard, that was more like his private stud dog. He did produce those, just a lot of his shit ain't, on public like that. But Daibo, he was out there, at public stud and shit. So, just sheer numbers. Look at Frisco. You breed that shit to fucking 50 bitches, of course you're gonna be top rum eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But he produced though pretty good. I think his record was off though. I don't believe he was a champion or nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, he was still a good fucking dog. I mean, Howard was hard on dogs. He wouldn't keep no mutt. He
Right.
probably was better than Daibo, if they would have put them on each other, as hard as Howard was on the dog. So he wasn't no slouch. He just, he wasn't open to the public like that.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
a couple people out here that did breed to him, though, and had, real good dogs that, they kept to themselves. And they still use, some of that shit right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another question going back, Ram, is what's some of the misconceptions about dog men?
Oh, man, we all vicious motherfucking killers who don't like nothing but gambling and whooping on our wives. You feel me? We get the bad rap. When in all actuality, I done seen the toughest of dog men cry when they lost a dog. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Right.
We just in it for the money. That's all. We don't care about the dogs, which is totally false. Because even if you hated dogs, if you had 20 dogs on your yard, you're going to eventually start to like dogs. You
Yeah.
feel me? We just get the bad rap. But another one is though, shit, we all in this big ass fraternity and we all, get along gang. That's the furthest from the truth. You know?
Right.
A lot of grimy motherfuckers in the game. Just like on the streets. There ain't really no loyalty on the streets like that. You might come
Right.
across, 5 motherfuckers in your whole street career that you could trust.
Right.
Out
Right.
of thousands of people. It's the same with the dogs. So, we get it bad both ways. We get it romanticized and it ain't true. We get thrown under the bus and that ain't true. you know? But the truth is, we just some average motherfuckers that love this breed of dog. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right. It's hard. It's hard because it's an old school breed of dog, and some people, it's people out there that complain about sled dogs. They complain about any type of working dog. Oh, that's terrible to have. I saw a video, literally, I'm not bullshit. I saw a video on Instagram, I think it was, or was it Facebook, where a dog, a game dog, well, not game dog, but whatever, American Pit Bull Terrier was participating in a weight pull event, and he's pulling weight, he's pulling it like a motherfucker. The comments is full of, "Oh my God, this is disgusting to have a dog pull that kind of weight. What are you doing? Oh, these assholes couldn't pull that themselves. Why would you want a dog to pull like this?" It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand how you can sit down and tell your children stories about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer flying, Santa's whooping their ass and got them flying all over the fucking world in one night, passing out fucking gifts and shit. And that's totally fine. You believe that shit, the Easter Bunny laying eggs for the whole fucking world and shit. That's fine. It's stupid shit. They're cool with that, but yet a dog working, it's a problem. It's just I don't understand it, man.
Yeah. Let me elaborate it.
All right, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You ain't been on here.
Yeah, that's just usually because they, fat lazy motherfuckers that can't lift their fucking belly up to get no pussy.
Right.
So of course you can't pull that much. I done been on the weight pull sled and tried it. You could do it if you're strong. It's not that hard on the dog, and the dog is way stronger than you. So what the fuck? Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, I was gonna, again, we're going back to most people ain't raised with dogs, or raised with any working or sporting animals, And the one thing people don't realize is you can't make an animal do something it don't want to do. So whether it's pulling weight or back in the day in the traditional sense, what the dogs used to do, they do it because they like it, and sometimes they do it to please you.
Exactly.
And the weight pull is on rollers. And you've seen people in competition. They used to have them all the time back in the 70s and 80s. These people pulling buses and trucks, they're on wheels. So once you get that rolling, it's a lot easier to pull. But the point is, if the dog don't want to do it, just like stubborn as a mule, it ain't going to do it. You can't make a cur scratch. You can't make a weight pull dog pull if it don't want to pull. You can't make a racehorse run or a rooster do its thing. There's no way to force it. So this concept of you're making them do something they don't want to do, or you're forcing them to do it, it's wrong. It's a lie. But again, people think because we used animals in the past that shouldn't be done anymore. Well, why not? I know people still own horses and do what they do, and you have rodeos and all that. It's a form of entertainment, but the animal is bred for that. It's inherent in their mind and their heart to do that work or do that sport. That's what they were invented for in the first place. So in all reality, not allowing them to do that is detrimental to the animal, because that's all they fucking think about 24/7. That's what they want to do. That's what they're bred for. They're not people. People should, you shouldn't compare dogs. I hear that shit all the time. How about if you had to do that? Well, I'm not a fucking dog. I'm not a horse.
Right.
I wasn't bred for that. And there's people that are game like that too and love their sports. And they, most basketball players and boxers and all that, football, they love the game. That's why they do it. And if they make money at it, that's great. But if they didn't want to be involved in it, they wouldn't. And the same with dogs. If they don't want to do it, they wouldn't do it. So all that stuff about how they compare animals to people or children to your dogs and all that, it's bullshit, man. Don't do that. But again, people, they don't have that understanding about animals. They don't have that history with working with animals, keeping animals, sporting animals, working dogs, whatever it is. They really do love it. The animal loves it. That's why they do it. That's what they're bred for. Even lap dogs, the reason for having lap dogs is to keep women from being accosted on the street. Because if you're carrying this little pooch around or you're sitting around in your home, people ain't going to come up to you and just accost you. It's a deterrent to keep men with women at a distance. That's why they invented those little stinky dogs in the first place. So even they served a purpose. That's why it's
Right.
called the lap dog, you know. But every domestic creature was, whether it's cattle or whatever, you know, was bred for a purpose. And now that, you know, people want to take all that away from them,
Right.
I don't think that's right, you know.
Absolutely. We got Nimlun in the super chat. Much love and much appreciation. This peace to the panel. What would uh be looking what would you be looking for in a heavy red boy Eli cross bred litter? Um, heavy red boy Eli cross bred litter. Ram, what should he be looking for in that?
If they was like the parents, and was the parents any good, and did the grandparents produce, that's what I'm looking for. I don't give a fuck about the cross. You know, the cross is gonna be the cross. You motherfucking cross some bullshit and get some bulldogs. You know, it's kind of hard to say what to look for in that type of cross. You know, it was the parents bulldogs, were they siblings bulldogs, and did the grandparents produce bulldogs? That's what you should be worried about, because the dog don't know what the fuck he bred like. He know he either want to bite, fight, or fuck, or get the fuck up out of there. You know, don't play
Yeah,
yourself just what you looking for out this blood blind, and I did this breeding, it should be like this. You know, if the parents was good as fuck, you know, look for the dogs that was like the parents. Because the parents too don't know how they bred. They just know what the fuck it is. What they was bred to do. It's a difference. You feel me?
absolutely, absolutely. What you say to that, Mr. Garcia?
Well, you know, you're going back dog for dog, you know, you take the dog on its own merits. And like Ram said, you know, the especially the ancestors up close, that's what matters most, you know. The concept behind putting that cross together is you got mouth and gameness, you know. But if they don't turn out that way, then that concept don't mean shit. It means absolutely nothing, you know. So you got to take each dog individually, and if you have that history of success and production behind the dog, then you probably have a better chance of it turning out. But still, that don't mean it's going to turn out. You gotta see the results. You know, uh, a lot of times, you know, breedings are made or crosses are made or bloodlines are put together out of convenience. That's what they have in their area, and people think it's like Daibo. He was bred to a uh, to, you know, I think it was Bob O'Neill that handled and conditioned him. He's in North Carolina, so he was there for a while. He bred, you know, somebody bred to Daibo while he was in that area. Didn't necessarily have to do with his pedigree. Didn't necessarily have to do with his performance. He was just there. They felt he was a good dog, and they bred him, and that happens a lot, more often than not. You breed what you have around you, you know, and you get the bloodlines that are closest to you. You know, it's cheaper, it's more economical, it's convenient, you know. So a lot of times that's the way the breedings were done. The dog just happened to be there, or they say I like this dog and I like this bitch, and I'm gonna put them together, and that's what they do. Sometimes it's success.
Right.
It's not necessarily, you know, some mastermind thinking, you know, I'm gonna you know put this, make my own brew and put this together, and you know all this and that. It's not that. It just
Yeah, I know what it is. See, some people think because of the stigma, like it's like legends behind dogs. Like, okay, people think all red boy dogs are game to the core, and then all Eli dogs have mouth. So it's like, oh, game and mouth. I can put both of them together. That's what they thinking, you know.
yeah, exactly. They do that with you know, and that could be true if, like Ram said, the ancestors were that way themselves. That just gives you a better chance of getting dogs like that. But it don't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen, you know. And making that cross, like I said, I don't even know if that's why they did it. You know, in some people's mind, that is the concept. You know, I'm gonna put gameness with mouth, and same thing they did with Jocko Red Boy. You know, hard biting and gameness and all that. But you know, Jocko Red Boy, they're from the same state. They're in the same area. If there's a bunch of them dogs around, why not put them together? You know,
Mhm.
it didn't necessarily. You know, the Bob Rast, who actually made that breeding, he wasn't thinking, about bloodlines and this and that. He just did it. It was almost accidental. Good blood, good dogs. I'm gonna stick them together, and that's where Jocko came from. And
Right.
Argo and whatever their sister's name was. If you hear his interview, and I've spoken to him in the past, that was there was no scientific anything behind it. He just had some good dogs, and he bred to the Red Boy stuff, and it worked.
Right, right. Mr. Gumbo back in that super chat. Salute, fam. Christopher Jornet. He said 78. I forgot Ram have some dogs. I'm gonna stop by him. Hey Ram, Christopher Jornet said he finna run up on you.
Shit, where
What's
you
up?
at, bro?
Who wants some
Yeah, you
dogs?
in the Zoom. Yeah, if you out here, pull up. Shit.
Let me see. Corey Yellowman Jackson. Salute in the super chat family. He said, salute fam. Not too big on dog talk. Just coming through the show. Some love. I'm going to stay in my lane with these Yorkies over here. Hey, salute fam. Appreciate you.
Yeah, the cold part is, I thought he was a dog man with yellow man right there in his name. I thought he was a yellow man guy.
Yeah, me too. It's all good though. Let me see here. Other questions if we got them. Okay. Ram. A question that me and Schoolboy covered earlier was: is it okay to keep a cur as a family pet? Just a family pet.
Yeah, if you like get them spayed or neutered, yeah, I got a couple dogs out there like that. When I say cold, I ain't just talking about, take them in the back, shoot them in the head, or, plug them up. None of that. Even though I call hard, they still got some good shit that you could get out the dog. Like, some dogs make good fucking house pets and guard dogs. Bark at a motherfucking, protect your kids. So it's still some good, attributes there from the dog. It just, I don't want them to get bred so those Kurgis can continue. So I just, chop them and shop them. You feel me? But
Right.
yeah, shit. Some motherfuckers, I know some real good dog men who don't fucking, zap them or none of that old shit. And you would think these were some of the hardcore motherfuckers out there. 'Cause everybody, ain't heartless. Motherfuckers hard losing a dog, let alone having to be the one to, put them down. That shit ain't for everybody, bro. So most of the time, it's better to just get them, shipped, clipped, and shipped. It's easy.
Right. Yes, indeed. All right. I got this other question here. Is a question I got on Instagram. A brother asked me a question. He says he wanted Schoolboy's opinion on the legacy of Rick Soros and how he feels about Rick Soros dogs and stuff like that. But then he said something later on that kind of confused me. I think he might have mixed up Rick and Bert Soros. I think but you mind just speaking on them?
Yeah, they're not related.
Right.
They're even Bert Soros was originally from California, I think. His family might have been from Arizona, but I know he lived in California for a long time, and then he moved back to Arizona. And Rick Soros was from Arizona too, or he lived there a long time. But they're not related. They just happen to have the same name,
Right.
As far as he's kind of one of those. Rick Soros is kind of one of those people you don't know a lot about. But as far as his dogs, a lot of people used them, and all over the Southwest, all over the East Coast, Gator Sun and Pistol Pete and all that. The Iberian Club was real successful with them. So was Ronnie Duhan, and regardless of what record they may have or may not have had with Rick Soros, there's no doubt that he produced a lot of good dogs. It's heavy boomerang, most of it got some Carver in there. Some of it has some Eli in there. But I seen one in Mexico. He looked just like Boomerang. His whole pedigree was nothing but Rick Soros dogs, and they were tight bred. And you know, the guy had him. He was 11 years old. He only bred him one time, and the people that went to his house, you know, they were salivating. You know, can I breed to him? Can I breed to him? This and that. I don't know if he wasn't real high on the dog or why he only bred him once, but you know, for me, I would have bred the shit out of him. You know, just by the way he was bred and the fact that he was 11 years old and this guy's a dog man. I'm sure he made the grade. The dog did. You know, but that happens. But as far as the prepotency of his dogs and the numbers percentages of good dogs, you know, there was a lot of them, a lot of them.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. And to DeAndre Bell, the Patreon, I said I was posting 5 Patreon videos today, right? Right. Well, today is still today on me. So I'm gonna post them. You know what I'm saying? Just relax. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be up tonight. But yeah, so what about Rick Bert Soros? Because that's who he really was talking about was Bert. But he said he
oh,
used
was it?
yeah, he said Rick Soros, but the dogs he was talking about were Bert Soros dogs. So I'm like, wait a
Oh,
minute,
okay.
what is he talking about? I think he
Yeah.
just was confused. I think he was just confused.
Right, right. Yeah, they go back to most of them go back to what you would call Corvino, Zeke, Black Widow stuff. You know, Soros Bull heavy on Zeke, Corvino through Altier's Tim, I think it is. You know, I think the female he based a lot of his dogs on was Goldie. I think that was her name. I forget, but it's interesting how he got that Corvino female. If you want me to tell you the story about it,
Well, yeah, sure.
okay. Barney was involved in a match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was in town in a suburban area, and they raided it, right? They confiscated all the dogs, and they had them in the pound. So Bert told Larry McCaw, you know, I'll get that dog for you if you give me that Corvino bitch, you know. So the
Right.
deal was made, and I think it was Bert and McCaw's son went and stole him out of the pound, got him back, and that's how he got the bitch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And those dogs, you know, traditionally they're known for their gameness, you know. And then with that, you know, he bred the, you know, the bull stuff, boomerang stuff to it, some other stuff, you know. But he was real successful. He probably had over 100 matches and probably not 10 losses, you know, him personally, you know.
Right.
And he went all, he was at the big conventions in Texas and Oklahoma, you know, he all over California, all over, you know, wherever good dogs were, he was involved with some of them, you know, with either competing against some of the best or being on the same shows as some of the best, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was hard on his dogs too, man. He's one of those, you know, uh, and you know, regardless of what you think about him, you know, he was a top dog guy and a breeder. He did everything. He was good with the medicine, aftercare, you know, conditioning, handling, all that.
Hey, Denmar, and it says, fam, I'm taking care of a paralyzed pit. I had him for 16 years. This dog is my son. Hey, salute to you, man. Well, there you go. You a dog man, you know. They said we was animals and savages and shit, you know. You over there taking care of the dog 16 years, you know. That's what's up.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, right here. Somebody just put us some good stuff in here. It says, Bert Blood is Zeke, Goldie, and Ed Crenshaw. Okay, yes indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, the Stu Fowler. Yep, sure was.
Mm-hmm.
Is it any good Corvino dogs left out there, man? I
That's a
had
good.
some in the late '90s when I lived in Chicago. Them was some hard nosed motherfuckers, man.
Yeah,
They came
yeah,
straight from Joe and Joe's son, though.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's where just about everybody got their Corvino dogs at one time. Even the bitch Soros got. You know, she come from down that way. Larry McCaw got her from. I forget if it was Sonny Sykes or Bodzianowski or Corvino himself. I forget, but yeah, that was a hotbed for that blood. That's where Corvino was from, and you know, them dogs went all over the place too. You know, Corvino didn't. You know, when he was younger, he probably handled condition his old dogs, but as he got older, he had other people doing it for him, some top guys doing it for him, you know. And they were known for their gameness, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Them some of the gamest dogs I seen. Them was couple dogs that if I could get them back now, you know, I get rid of all the shit I got right now. You know, with
Yeah,
some of them dogs, like god
yeah,
damn.
yeah,
This one
yeah.
you don't know what you got until it's gone type shit, you
That's
know.
true. That's true. You
It's
know,
some
and
guys.
they smart too. You know, they wasn't the type. It wasn't old plugs, you know, or just stupid game or whatever you want to call
Oh
it.
no, they had everything that you want in a dog. You know, they had
Yeah,
crunch,
yeah.
real smart, could ride you out or just body you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
depending, they could, you know, play up to the competition and
Yep,
overcome it.
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Then
it's
they
still.
start up early, so you just got to be patient with them because you'll be, you know, you'll be trying to do some
Yeah.
stupid shit with them. But yeah, them was some real good fucking dogs I got from that
Yeah.
man out there in that little, well, you have
Yeah.
iron shop out there. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had a nice little shop before he passed out
It's
there.
it's,
Yeah.
it's some
Yeah.
people still got
He was a
some.
blacksmith.
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 He was a blacksmith, and it's a testament to him that people like Heinzel and Hemphill and you know, even Tudor, you know, they had his blood, you know, they wanted them dogs, you know, and they would trade back and forth and breed, but you know, he was around before a lot of them guys were, and people went directly to him to get dogs from. So there must have been something to him, you know.
Absolutely.
yeah, and they had that consistent look to them too. Like you could tell that was a Corvino dog back then.
Exactly.
It was like
Exactly.
back in '98. You know, you could look at them and tell from
Yeah.
a puppy to an old dog. Like, damn, that's that Corvino shit. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, it's still some out here, Ram. In this region, I don't know if they doing no good, but I know the blood is still alive. I don't know if they, maybe it need to be crossed up or something. I ain't heard nothing good about as far as like no active stuff, but I know somebody. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, do that, man. Do that. And I go over the dogs because I got real familiar with them dogs. I like them dogs a lot, man. A whole lot. I was just moving and shaking so much I ain't get the chance to bring none back.
Okay, Shanti Mindy say, Ram, my family still have that blood in North Carolina, and it's watered down. He said it ain't watered down, mixed with Eli Jr. Okay.
Hey, Ashanti, hit me on the gram, bro. Yeah, I need some of that, man. That shit brought back all that good old warm and fuzzy feeling, you know?
Yeah, man. It's good to find old blood, you know what I'm saying? Especially, a lot of times when people got that old blood, they just they're not in it for like the fucked up reasons or nothing. Like you can get them dogs for a good price too, you know? Like, sometimes they're just happy to talk to a good dog man who want their blood and shit, you know? Like, yeah, I got something for it. They want their blood to live on,
True.
So yeah, I met a few people like that. I just got an opportunity. Somebody hit me up with some crazy shit. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this real? And the price he was asking was ridiculous. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's ridiculous because I don't want him to up the price on me. But yeah, I'm gonna buy that shit. Most definitely gonna buy that. Keep that.
Yeah, buy two and I'll send you the money for one. Shit.
Yeah. You gonna definitely want this shit, Ram. You gonna want some of this. Yeah, I'll probably get two of them and send you one of them. And because for that price, it's ridiculous, bro. But he's not trying to like be a breeder or nothing. He just,
He appreciate and value the blood, you know.
right.
Everybody got their part in the game, man. Everybody not a great handler, a conditioner, the next level breeder, you know. Some people's job is to fucking feed the blood and ensure that it continues on. And that's it. You know, it ain't no glory in that the handler and conditioner get, but that's still an important part of the game, you know.
Yeah.
Without people like that, you know, the blood is lost.
Right.
True.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a love for the dogs, like we were talking about earlier. You know.
Yep, and just
They
love
want
them.
to.
They get
Yep.
that
They
warm and
want.
fuzzy feeling from that bloodline, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. They just want to keep it going. You know. And if they can get a little bit of help putting some dogs out there, they will. You know.
Yeah. I'm looking on now. I'm still looking for some good some real good either Boomerang and Queen of Hearts blood. I just some stuff I want to do. I want some Queen of Hearts blood. I know where to get the Boomerang stuff from, but I want some real good Queen of Hearts blood, heavy Queen of Hearts, and I know where some of it at, but it's been crossed. You know what I mean? Already, I want to do the crossing my goddamn stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find it as tight as I can find it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because she wasn't bred that much, unfortunately.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
and sure then the people who had her, you know, they wasn't putting that blood out there like that.
And they still ain't.
Yeah.
They still ain't putting that shit out there like that. You know?
True.
But that's how you preserve a bloodline in working form still. You just don't let everybody fucking touch it. Treat it like your baddest bitch ever, you know? Mm-hmm. You make her go in the room when the homies come over, don't you?
Right.
like that.
Yeah, going up in there and take a nap, baby.
The homies finna come through. Go put some clothes on, goddammit. Yeah. Ugly yourself up. You know, treat the blood like that.
Put that hat on your head, girl. Put that hat on.
Where that mama's family moo at? Put that on.
Let me see here. Brother said here, he says, Wesley Lewis says, I got an Eli top and bottom. What would be a good bloodline to mix with it? You got Eli top and bottom. Eli, if you got if it's a good dog, got the papers, I mean, it's some shit. I'll take it back to some Eli shit. Unless you want to, I mean, it's a lot of ways you can go with that, fam. You know, depending on how good the dog is and what you want to do with it and shit, what's your intentions. You know what I mean? You want to preserve your blood. You like the dog you got, it's a male, female, you want to preserve the blood, or you want to start breeding, what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? These is hard.
Yeah, I would say breed to what your animal is lacking, you know? So if you got just a typical Eli dog, barnstormer, all that good old shit that we know and love, breed it to some smart shit like some bolio shit or something, you know? If you want to make an outcross to put a little bit more in it, just be honest with yourself when you're making the breeding. Like, that's what I do. I breed to animals that, got the attributes my shit don't, and just keep it going from there. You just got to be honest with yourself when you assessing your dog, and you got to really, see what you're looking at and know what is lacking, and just don't be a bitch about it. If your shit ain't fucking crunching, breed it to some shit that's crunching. If it can't wrestle, breed it to some shit that's got ability, but you got to keep it real when you making them breedings. That's how you get real dogs. And just, if you got a female, I say, bro, just spend the money on a good producing stud.
He said he got a male.
Yeah, I would just buy a good bitch, if you could afford it, buy a bitch that already produced some good quality dogs and, give that a shot. Or you could fucking, breed her, keep some pups, raise them, breed your male back to his best bitch. There's a lot of ways you could do it. You could stay in the Eli family, and get some different attributes. Just as long as you ain't breeding no cur. I wouldn't breed it to no Chico Lopez shit either.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker every time I see him. Fuck that dude.
Man, Jesus. He gonna make sneak this videos and shit.
I don't give a fuck. I just found out how to fucking track the IP address. I'll fucking drop that motherfucking location. Keep playing.
Oh boy, let's see what we got here.
Like that. And I roll with the motherfucking AR-15 pistol every day. So there's that.
All good. Kendrick Kennels, what's happening, family? Kendrick got a good yard over there. Make sure y'all go check out the homie Kendrick Kennels. Real good yard over there. Let's see here. I think we hit the questions though. Yeah, I think we hit them. All right. Anything anybody want to cover before we get out of here? This is your chance to ask what you want to ask. You know what I mean?
It's Friday. You ain't got shit to do. You ain't got no job. Motherfucker, ask away while we still on. Cause I'm about to go when I get home. I got to get on QuickBooks and balance my books. I had to pay everybody today. And I got to pay myself still. So yeah, ask away. I'm about to get busy.
Yeah. If y'all got any questions, it's time to ask. We're getting ready to shut it down, man. you know, kick back, relax. I gotta go look at some titties, you know.
Oh yeah, Katie has some big titties.
Yeah.
That's always what I do on Friday. Did Ashanti Mindy is you on the gram, bro? I'm gonna try to get with you, man. See what your people's got for real. I need some of that Corvino in my life.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Um,
Man, I'm telling you, with some good ass dogs, man. Like, the puppies was fucking good ones, or potentially to be good. Like, you feel good about the puppies. There wasn't a lot of curs in them dogs. And if it
True.
was curs, like, it took a motherfucker to bring that cur out.
Yeah.
um, Mr. Garcia, you got any confirmation shows coming up?
Uh, we're supposed to have one next month, but I think it's been postponed till later. They're waiting for all this, the COVID, the restrictions been lifted. So I think that's happening on the 15th here, and probably after that, maybe the month after that or the next month. But
So like July.
we do a
July.
Butch Kizenbaugh memorial every year.
Okay. So say like July or August or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we always have a good
Well, that's a
turnout.
good topic right there. The kids and ball stuff, that old good old Bolio Klaus. Man,
Yeah, if you like the
them some
Bolio Klaus,
gang
heavy
dogs.
Klaus, they work.
Yeah.
They have a look to them too. They're unique looking, kind of on the thinner side,
Yeah, they got that
Uh,
old school look to them,
yeah, yeah, they
Like,
do.
you be like,
They
God
do.
damn, you kind of ugly, but you
Yeah,
like that thick bitch. You kind of
yeah,
ugly, but you bad than a motherfucker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He produced a lot of good ones. There's it's just that Bolio Klaus, worked, and for a long time. And it's like the Corvino bud you mentioned. They have a long history of breeding, and Corvino was one of the best breeders, so the consistency was there. And like you're saying, with the pups all the way to adult, you get a lot of consistency with it, a lot of heart, a lot of even ability, smart, and like you said, that's kind of the way I like to think my dogs were. You might stop them, but you're gonna play hell doing it. You got to take everything out of them to make them quit, which is,
Yeah.
that's a testament
Yeah,
to
you
the
gotta
dogs
unpack
too.
the whole goddamn U-Haul by yourself
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
And
want to
that's
get this car out the back.
yeah,
hey, that's
exactly.
all you can do, man.
Yeah,
I
and if you happen to get the upper hand on one of them, you might not make it home yourself. You might lose your
Oh
dog
yeah.
too. You know.
Yeah, you won't even make it to the car.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. That's all you can ask. And for people, is me and Ram talk about this all the time. Is that people having unrealistic expectations for their dogs, but they demand things of their dogs that they are not willing to do themselves as far as with gameness and courage. It's like I used to tell guys, young guys used to come in when I was locked up. Young guys come in there and they be scared. They watch a bunch of movies and shit. They think they're gonna get raped and all kind of crazy shit, and they all scared and they fucking let people just walk in their cell and take their canteen and take their chips and shit. I'm like, look, man, if you let this dude take your shit, he gonna take your shit every day, and then it's gonna be another dude taking your shit and another dude. It don't matter if you can beat his ass or not. You gotta let him know you're willing to die to protect what's yours, and he'll leave the fuck alone, man. You know what I mean? Because it ain't worth it for him to kill you
exactly.
and get more time, But you gotta be willing to die to protect what's yours. And when you do that shit, you gain your respect. People leave the fuck alone. If people know they're gonna have to kill you to take your chips, it's not worth it to them. You know what I mean? So,
True.
Yeah.
if you,
Like, if
yeah,
I see
absolutely,
you willing to fight, but you can't fight, I'm gonna give you some Skeena. I got your back, homie, because I can fight. Just don't be no curb. If I see you,
absolutely.
motherfucker handling you rough and you trying to, come on top, we gonna pack them out. Because I ain't with that bully shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Same shit
absolutely.
with the dogs. You gotta
Sir,
be in there, man. Go ahead, though.
no, for sure. Sir Kendall said, "How can he stay updated about the show?" Well, Schoolboy, he'll be on the show, man. We'll talk about it. Because if it's in August, shit, I might slide. I'm gonna be in Cali in August.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in
Yeah,
Cali in
me
August.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
on vacation every August at the beach,
Okay. Well,
Catalina Island.
maybe it'll coincide when y'all out here. There's a lot of old time dog guys that come up from they go to from the West Coast and even from Mexico. Last time, you know, Vince was there, Eddie Vasquez, Alfonso Reynosa.
Right.
You had a lot of guys, you know, that been involved with the dogs a long time. You know, it's like that memorial we had, or that old timers cookout. You know, these people that you might have heard of them, but you ain't never met them. You know, they show up, and it gives people the opportunity to talk to them. They're pretty open and cordial. You know, you can ask them all kinds of questions. You know, Vince. You know, people are like, "What was Chinaman like, and what did he do, and this and that." And it becomes repetitive, but he understands that not everybody knows all the stories, you know, and they get it firsthand from him, you know. And even for me, I saw him roll, but you know, it's different from the person that owned him and competed with him, you know. And a lot of dogs
Right.
like that,
How
you know.
how was he in his roles? Was he as advertised?
Yeah, I called him the eviscerator, you know,
God
because
damn.
afterward, because he disemboweled the dog, you know. And it was a retired 2-time winner, you know, good dog, smart dog, but he just never had a chance. Chinaman got into his in the foul area in the back end, just it didn't go
Yeah.
but 13 or 15 minutes, you know.
Shit.
Oh,
And
wait.
it was actually after a confirmation show, which is something, you know, again, speaking of the past, we used to do. You get together, you show your dogs, and everybody get together afterwards and do their thing, you know. It was kind of standard back then, you know.
Right.
It was fun. I just happened to be there, you know, and he was impressive, you know.
So your confirmation shows. What do you got? You got it's for adults, puppies, mixed. What?
Yeah, yeah. The way the guy that puts this show on, he just goes by the color. You know, best red, best. You know, it doesn't go to any points for anything. You know, champion or nothing like that. It's just like a fun show.
Oh,
Best
just for
Yeah.
black
fun.
dog,
Okay.
you know, like that. And then you have the junior handlers for the kids. You know, and then you know, like best condition or judge's choice, stuff
Right.
like that. You know.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's nice.
It's cool, man. Get the kids out there. Some people bring their whole families, you know, which is good. Putting the pit bull in a good light, like we talk about, you know, that's what it's
Right.
about. And you get the kids out there to you know, handle the dogs and show what they can do. You know, a lot of these kids, you can tell they're raised with these dogs. They know how to handle them, you know,
Right.
and which is good. You know, that's the next generation coming up. Maybe they'll keep their daddy or mama's blood going, or you know, be involved that way. You know.
Right. To the brother who asked about the conditioning, we're gonna talk about that next week. Because that's a long question. That's like I mean, you can do like you can spend 30 minutes talking about conditioning. So let's
Yeah.
talk about that next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Tune in. It'll be good.
yes, indeed. The African sci-fi scholar in the super chat. What to do, family? Much love, much appreciation, homie. He says, "Salute, dog, man. The entertainers and rappers like DMX, RIP, have legit bloodlines. If so, who were some? Yeah, them guys had some good dogs. I mean, because they had the money to get them, and then on top of that, you had people willing to give them their dogs just to say, "Hey, Snoop got one of my dogs. DMX got one of my dogs." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people give, yeah,
Snoop got a
oh,
pit named Kiwi. She Niggerino. If you
right.
ever find that pedigree, that dog is bred to fuck up, bro. That
Mhm.
Niggerino dog, Kiwi, that
Hell
motherfucker
yeah.
bred. Like, slap the shit out of Snoop and take that shit. You dealing with that dog, dude. That motherfucker bred up. Niggerino up close. Like right there in the second type shit. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
saluting the Cash App. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, Gods. Okay, ain't that something? I got a Cash App from God. It says, I don't know what it's for, but hey, salute. Thank you to the Lord.
Oh, that he meant that for me. Yeah, he just sent that to the wrong box.
Nah,
That's
nah,
all.
it's all good. God, nah,
And
God,
you over there
hey,
stealing my blessing.
God sent me a Cash App. It's all good. All right, so
Yeah, I'm over here trying to shortstop God.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
man.
gonna lose that. You're gonna lose that one.
Yeah, I know. Every time too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed, man. Oh, somebody said, "What's the Cash App for?" The Cash App for the same thing, Super Chat for. It's just to show your support for the channel and shit like that. You know what I mean? just show your support. That's all it is. You know, it ain't no special fundraiser or I ain't gonna lie to you and say I'm out here finna take up a collection to go save some children in Zimbabwe or some shit. Just to support the channel. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, homie.
Just socking it to the pocket. That's all, showing support like that. You feel me?
Hey, salute to okay, that was Anthony McBride, who had the Cash App his God, I guess. Okay, salute, homie. All right, so I guess that's it, man. We're gonna come back next week, real good. We're gonna talk about some conditioning next week. We'll put the questions together. If y'all got any more questions, leave them in the comment section of this video. Not the chat right here, but when the video upload, just leave them in the chat if y'all got any questions, and we can cook on that. You know what I mean? So,
hey, Shanti Mindy, I'm gonna comment on this video too. Just drop your math in there, and then when I see it, I just delete it and hit you up, bro.
Yes, indeed. Salute. All right, I want to thank the legendary schoolboy for coming through, showing love, much appreciation, man. And hopefully he'll be back next week to talk about some conditioning. And salute to my brother Ram, always coming through. Salute to the young brother Blitz for coming through, stopping by, sharing the video and all that good stuff. All right, you got any last words for the people, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, just thanks for everyone's support. Respect to everybody, and 78 and Ram and Blitz. I love doing this. That conditioning is always a hot topic. So hopefully we'll have some good conversation. But anything we talk about is because we love the breed. We support it, and we want to get the truth out about it. So thanks for everybody that's involved, and thanks for everybody chiming in and your comments too. Don't be scared to post questions. While we're on here, that's the best time for us to answer them. No question is dumb, even though they seem that way. Not everybody's a genius like some of them guys. I surely ain't. So post away.
Absolutely.
And thanks everybody.
Hey, schoolboy, I'm gonna hit you up too. I want to register some dogs with your registry.
Yeah, anytime. Just
I got the paperwork over here too. I'm gonna register my dogs.
If you want to get, I think 78 got my phone number. You want to give me a holler, or just
all right,
you want to do it.
Yeah, shoot us each other number. 78. Shoot
we'll do.
Your number. Yeah,
I got you.
All good.
All right, ma'am. Go ahead and give us a disclaimer, Ram.
Hey, man, none of this shit is intended or should be used for any illegal purposes or activities. If you came over here for that, you in the wrong spot, because all we serve is hot and ready dick meat sandwiches with a side of big bitch butt crumbs that you could eat on your way out the motherfucking dough. Motherfucking keep it trill, fuck with it or fuck off. You feel me? Y'all be good this weekend, man. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your motherfucking pistol ready to shoot. God damn it, because they out there.
Yes, sir. What's up, honey? What's up, honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, love, honey love? I see you. What you doing, Red Sonya? What's up, Sonya? Fat Mama Sonya. What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Mayday? Lord Mayday. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord Mayday? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say?